Good morning and welcome to the live series Straight Off the Bat. Join us on Thursdays as we speak to individuals across multiple industries who will help you understand financial literacy and education. If you're joining us on YouTube, thank you so much. Don't forget to like and follow our page so you can continue seeing content that will help you manage your money. I'm your host, Pauline Joseph, and today we're discussing banking safely with digital payments at ScotiaBank. Our guest today is Ria Chadband. She is the Assistant Manager, Digital Support Unit with ScotiaBank Trinidad and Tobago Limited. She has amassed a wealth of knowledge spanning over a 15-year career in the banking industry. She holds a BA in Business Management from the University of Sutherland and a diploma in a Business Management with distinction from the institution of UE School of Business and Applied Studies, UE Roy Tech. Outside of banking and finance, she's a wife and a mother of two beautiful children who enjoys cooking, adventures, and spending quality time with her family and friends. So let's bring in Ria this morning. Hello, Ria.
Hi, good morning, Pauline. It's such a pleasure to be with you guys this morning. Thanks for having me.
Great. So we usually with our guests we try to squeeze out as much information as possible because I know for a lot of people 60 minutes feels like a long time, but when it comes to financial literacy and education, it's so important. And we want to really squeeze out that 15 years, we want to get that information that we may not necessarily know and some people take for granted when they're knowledgeable that the rest of the world knows. So thank you so much for saying yes to sharing your knowledge today. So we're going to get right into it and we're going to talk about digital banking solutions and what does Scotiabank offer to help customers minimize need for cash transactions.
So, Pauline, that's an excellent question. Scotiabank is really taking this initiative, a digital transformation in Trinidad and Tobago, and really running with it. We really want our customers to be able to bank easy, be able to bank globally, and be able to bank anywhere they are at any point in time. We really have invested heavily in our digital solutions that we provide our customers and the way we transact and interact with our customers and the tools and the services that we give our customers to be able for them to bank easily, safely, and more convenient. We have 24/7 banking, online, mobile, ATM, and we also have the option for our contact centers. Because of these digital offerings that we really and truly give our customers, Scotiabank, for the third consecutive year, really has been named the Global Finance Best Digital Bank for 2023 and the prior 2 years. And this year we got an additional award where we would have won the Best Digital app as well. So kudos to Scotia for really going out there and assisting our customers. And as I said, we have online banking and mobile banking. So online banking and mobile banking is our main platforms for digital banking, right? You can pay your bills, you could check your statements, you could make payments to local banks as well as Scotia. Local bank transfers, as long as it's done before 12 in the day, it really is done same day. After 12 is next day. And then we have the ability to pay to Scotia customers, the payment is instantaneous. So it really gives people the ability to bank quickly and get that funds that they need to do whatever. So besides doing transfers, we have bill payments and customers could go in and pay any of the utility bills directly on our website, right? You could use it and use it using the system. So you could go in, add your debit, add your bill, flow, whatever it may be, whichever service provider you have and you want to pay, you could go in, search it, add it, and then pay that service provider. Scotia also offers with our online banking, it also offers, and our mobile banking, it offers the customer the ability to be able to view their statements. So we are going paperless. We're trying to save the environment while we give customers the convenience of getting their statements, right? So our digital banking also allows customers to download their statement and you could download it and save it, print it. You could even email our statements and customers use WhatsApp and so many others social medias these days, they have the ability to use WhatsApp and even send their statements. So it's quite a few options where you're allowed to really and truly have that paperless effect with the customer. What we also have is our next generation ATMs, and our ATMs is really, we call them the smart ATMs, where you're allowed to do a lot of transactions. You could do bill payments there, you could pay your credit card directly, you could transfer money to your various accounts. Our ATMs are paperless as well in terms of deposit, so you don't need to use an envelope to put in the money into the ATM. So the ATMs accept the money immediately, and it actually counts the cash as you deposit, and it's made available immediately to your account. So really and truly, Scotiabank has been adapting to this digital transformation. COVID has really taught us that we need to move with the world and really change our approach to banking and digital banking. We have come up and offer quite a few offerings to our customers.
Thank you so much for that, Ria. And as a customer of Scotiabank, it's interesting that you mentioned the ATMs because I guess because I'm so online all the time, I kind of had an idea about it. But I did have an incident where I was in the ATM, and it's always a weird place to be because you feel very vulnerable, being in an ATM. But a woman came to me because she was like, "What's going on? Where's the envelope?" Right? And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, you don't need an envelope. It automatically, counts it." And she's like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "Just ask for the receipt so you have proof of it." So in that conversation, can you talk about some of the things that Scotiabank is doing to educate its customers, especially in a world where customers like me are spending so much time online?
Right, so what we have been doing to educate our customers, we have tailored some of our approaches to really assist our customers. So the first things we do is we have a lot of social media. If you check our Instagram, we constantly give customers the knowledge about our digital banking and talk about safety, because I know it's a great concern for customers. They want to ensure that whatever transactions they do, they are secured, right? On our .com, there is how-to guides. We really tailor our guides to make it easier for customers to be able to do different transactions, right? So on the .com, it have guides on how the customer could do a transaction, how they could do a transfer, how they could pull their statements themselves, how they could sign up for online banking. Also, we have dedicated days in the branches that we assist customers with digital banking for the month of. We also had the seniors drive, where senior Saturdays, where we went out and we really assisted that population that really and truly may have some difficulty with adapting to new technology. We went out and we had advisors doing one-on-one demos with the customers, informing them, showing them, teaching them. Because I feel like the best way for everyone to learn is when you teach them. It stays longer with you when you actually see someone do it than you do it yourself sometimes. So we really tailor that. Also, we have our contact center, and we have our My Team, which is the digital support team, where we have customers sending emails, or they can call into My Team and we are able to assist them in order to be able to use our digital channels.
Yeah, and I definitely did get an email. I saw the Saturdays, and I was like, "Mom, get on this, man, get on this." Social event for you. You learn and you meet new people. I think this is such a great idea because we are in a space where there's a group of us who are very familiar and native to online, and then a lot next of us are like, "Oh, this online thing, I'm not sure." So it's great to see those initiatives, because education, we can never stop learning at whatever age, right?
Yes.
So with we're talking about being online, we're talking about access to the ATM that no longer requires an envelope. So when it comes to the shift, um, let's talk about security for a second because a lot of people will be like, "Well, I don't want to see my money." what is Scotiabank doing in terms of enhancing that security and understanding? That's part of the education as well. Us as consumers to feel more comfortable that this digital space is the direction that we need to go as consumers.
Right. So, as I said, digital, we have the Scotia app as well as we have online banking, right? And they are available on all devices, both iOS and Android. And really and truly, what we have been doing to ensure that customers' information is safe, and your information is safe from the sign in to the sign out. We ensure that whatever financial information you put in there, Pauline, it's really protected by the highest level of securities that we have. There's multi layers of security. And when you sign in, it's sign in control. You can go in, when you go in, you can either sign, there's various ways to sign into our online platforms, right? You could sign in with a password, you could sign in with biometrics such as your face, as well as your fingerprints. It's a multi-layered, as I said. This data encrypted, so it keeps your financial information safe and notifications. So what we do as well with Scotia, we have Scotia alerts. I'm not sure. I know you said you're a customer, so I'm sure you're using this Scotia alerts, right? What it really is you set alerts on your phone to make sure that every transaction that you do, you get an alert for. Any payment you make with your credit card, with your debit card, any of those payments you make, you get an alert telling you that this payment was made at this time and this is where it was made. Right? So that keeps the customer knowing what is happening with their account at all time. And the minute that you pick up that something is not what it's supposed to be, then you can call our contact center and block your card immediately. Also, we have fraud monitoring in the back end where we monitor to see basically the type of transactions, the customer patterns, basically, right? And with this monitoring, we also is able to pick up if there's any fraud, and then we engage the customer if we think there's any fraudulent activity, and that is done by our fraud department. Yeah?
Yes, I do have the alerts. You are correct, and it's been a dream because I'm very sort of a stickler when it comes to checking to make sure that my my actual expenditure is within my salary. So I just
Yes.
making sure that I've made decent financial decisions. I mean, I've been
Yes.
doing this show for the last 3 years, so I hope I learned something. Um, so yes, things like that,
Financial
the
planning is very
technology.
important.
Exactly. And, being able to have the technology there, I think it's still a lot of learning for people because I mean, I have those conversations as well with my friends and it's still, they're still trying to figure it out. So I know you mentioned Instagram, so we're gonna definitely put that in the comments for those who are watching us now. Head over to the Scotiabank Instagram account to figure out some of the information that you need to know. So you mentioned earlier about, security as it relates to the biometrics that exist in phones, right? So you have the Android and you have the iPhones, which is the Apple ecosystem. Those are usually the main ecosystems, if not the only options you have for phones. So I want you to step back for a bit and instead of thinking about it as a banker, but as a user of the phone, um, what are sort of the steps that you've taken because you know that your financial access is on your phone. Have you instituted the facial recognition? Do you have a fingerprint imprint? Like, what are you doing to enhance your security for your phone?
Okay, so for me, Pauline, I really use the option for fingerprint. It's easier for me. I would have set up the fingerprint, and I have an Android, so with the Android, it's easier for the fingerprint. The Apple more uses the facial ID. So I do is I sign in with my fingerprint at all times, and I ensure with each transaction that I sign up to. Every time I finish using my online banking, I ensure that I sign out to make sure that my information, if my phone is ever lost or something happens that is out of my control, no one can get into my online mobile banking.
That is some great advice, guys, especially if you have either operating system. I'm a person because of my job. I have both Android and Apple, and I use my fingers as well for the Android and my face for my iPhone, and things like that really heightens the security, access to things that are personal to you, and I think is important, regardless of if what bank you're on. Those types of security features you need to be able to utilize that. So we want to have a conversation around shifting for Urea, because a lot of times digital transformation is a trending word. It's like, oh, it's fancy, let's talk about this. But what does it really mean for the customer? Because you're looking at over a decade and a half of being in the space, and I want you to think about what that means for the customer and the biggest challenge that they may have. But we will expand on that question right after the break. And welcome back to the live series Straight Off the Bat. Here on Bankers Association of Trinidad and Tobago, we discuss everything around financial literacy and education. If you're joining us from Facebook, don't forget to like and follow our page to continue seeing content that will help you manage your money. I'm your host, Pauline Joseph, and today we're discussing banking safely with digital payments at Scotiabank. Today we're joined by Ria. She's the Assistant Manager, Digital Support Unit with Scotiabank Trinidad and Tobago Limited. So we're gonna reel her back in because we've been having this discussion for some time, and if you have missed it, don't worry. After this live is ended, you can go and click on the replay. So we discussed, we're looking at the digital payments, we're looking at mobile banking, we're looking at accessing our funds online, which is a new concept, and Ria would have mentioned Scotiabank had senior Saturday workshops where folks are learning about online banking. So, in this shift of digital transformation and discussions, we want to pick Ria's brain a bit to find out, what is sort of the biggest challenge that she's seen over the last 15 years? Because, we had this massive shift, that C word, where we were under lockdown, and a lot of things had to move really fast because we need to access our stuff from our homes. So in that same sort of understanding, and we are here now having to access our funds. What have you seen as the biggest challenge for customers when it comes to shifting their financial management online?
So, Pauline, as you would know, Trinidad is a very cash intensive country, right? So the biggest challenge really and truly is to teach customers to change our culture, I want to say, from being so cash intensive and dependent on cash to being more dependent on the digital world, right? And really we have to find new and innovative ways to help these customers to understand, to help our customers to understand the the benefits that come with digital banking. So it's not only about doing things quickly, it's also safety. And safety is paramount in the environment that we live in presently. With digital banking, you don't have to carry around a large amount of cash, right? You don't need to meet somebody to give them money. You don't need to, you could just, in a click of a button in the middle of the night morning, you could do these transactions. So we want to continue to teach our customers and educate our customers on how easy it is. And as I said initially, it is the biggest challenges to get that shift in mindset from customers from a cash intensive environment to more digital and being able to understand and how to use. And that's why we have the senior Saturdays. That's why we continue to have a dedicated team to assist customers and teach them as we go, because it's all we are all learning as we grow, right? So we help to ensure that our customers know how to use the platform. We have to really and truly teach them. So our greatest challenge is really and truly moving that mindset.
That is so interesting because I remember I worked on a project in a bank, and I heard stories from tellers where people literally came into the bank so they could see their money and then leave. And it's interesting because as a younger person that I am, we could sit and judge people and be like, why is it you're not seeing this? It's so obvious, but change is extremely hard. So when it comes to the benefits of shifting online, you said something there about us being cash, very like cash focused. But when it comes to being able to, let's say, make a payment for your bills, not having to physically sit down in traffic, can we talk about the benefits of what it means to have digital payments and having access to your funds and making those payments via your screen?
So the real benefit is really time, because as you know, time is money, right? So it really gives the customer convenience as well. When a customer has to stick in traffic for a half an hour to get to a utility company and then sit another half an hour there to be able to pay that bill, it's really time consuming when you could be doing so much other things that you might have more pressing or that really demands your attention rather than paying a bill. While the bill is important, we want to make it easy, right? So the major benefits is the convenience one, then the ease, then the time. People is going to save so much time using digital banking, and also it gives you the ability to be able to do it anytime, anywhere, any day.
Agreed. And so for me as a small business owner, and a person who wants to have work-life balance, it's so important to be able to have the facility to make those payments online. Even as something as simple as going to get your hair done, I was able to transfer that to the hairdresser, and that's something that, that having to may have to go and withdraw that cash and then go and give it to her. We're now in a space
Mhm.
where a lot of businesses are accepting that transfer, and as you said earlier, it's very quick. So I want to step back a bit because I introduced you earlier, spoke about your position as assistant manager and digital support unit with ScotiaBank Trinidad and Tobago, but you're also a mom. So juggling that, I think you have a great perspective. I don't know if you want to share the ages of your two beautiful children.
I have an 11-year-old and I have a 3-year-old.
Wow. Okay. Whew. Mm-mm-mm. Thank you for contributing to my pension. So when it comes to the conversation around money in the digital world, how are you seeing that sort of shift or maybe influencing you as a mother and having those discussions with your children?
So the conversations with my children is learning the value of money. And as you know, the younger generation, and as you said, I want to include myself in that younger generation, right? But I have to be realistic as well. So the Gen Z population, that population is very tech savvy. So to really and truly get my daughter, because my son is not of the age just yet to understand anything about money, but to really get my daughter to understand, she has allowance and we want to teach her how to use her allowance. This is what you have, this is what you want to save for. You could actually go to the bank and we open an account for her. Let's do an account, get her ATM card, right? So she already is tech savvy. So it's not very hard to kind of move her to be able to understand banking. It's just teaching her about money. But for her, it's all for children of that age, it's really easy for them to adapt to digital because they have been using these digital equipment since they are pretty young. Since she was about 2 or 3, she really has been using it. So she understands the benefit of not having to go to the bank. She prefers to go to rituals and have some a chiller or go to Starbucks and do something like that, right? She don't want to go and sit with mommy in any bank or go to any um, any utility bills to pay any utility bills, right? So those things for children of that age is really and truly not the most interesting. They prefer to do things that totally give them benefits. And really and truly for her, it's about being able to spend quality time and being with her family. So we don't want to spend time on doing things that we don't need to do. And digital banking really and truly has given me the ability as a mom to get everything done. And as a banker, bank time, we don't have bank time. It's work most of the day we work, so we don't have bank time. So having online banking and having mobile banking and be able to transfer that funds immediately or be able to give her allowance to her account immediately and show her how to use the ATM and withdraw that money herself and budget for herself, it really is liberating as a mom.
Wow, I know I said that I'm in the younger generation, but when you just said she wants to go to Scotiabank, I mean to Starbucks and rituals, I'm just like, wow, back in my day at that age, I was excited to go around in Savannah on a Sunday, but whew, different times,
Different times, yes, definitely so.
different times. And I think it's interesting that we have you here because we've had previous guests where they discuss about opening an account with their kids, and the response from the audience has been amazing. So, can you give us sort of an insight in that Scotiabank space where you're able to put her name on the account? How does that work for a parent?
So how it works, parents. So this is quite a few years ago. So what we do really and truly, now all our accounts are digitally enabled, right? So you can actually go online and start your account process. So you use our .com and you go in, you upload your KYC documents, as we would say, which is know your customers. So stuff like your ID, proof of address, proof of income, and you upload those documents to our online banking platform. It goes to the branches and whichever branch you choose to go to. So you can pick whichever branch you want to go to. And then with that now, you are able to review the document, so it saves time for the customer. Previously, we had a system where the customer had to walk in and space on appointments and availability of an officer to do the appointment, and then you might have long waiting times. Now it's so much smoother and easier to get done. So you're able to upload those documents. They view the documents, they vet the documents. If anything is wrong with the documents, if missing information and that kind of thing, the branch reach out back to the customer to get that information. And when the information is clean and ready to move forward, we set the appointment for the customer. The customer comes in, and it's a smooth transaction from opening the account to the end of getting your card and leaving the branch of that day. So really and truly, it's a smooth transaction. Also for existing customers, we have the capability on our online banking where you can open an additional account. So you go into your online banking and you will see the option open a new account. You answer the questions and you follow the steps, and it's very easy for you to be able to open accounts online for existing as well as new customers.
Yes, and I could also attest to that as an existing customer because I saw the option, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna speak on behalf of most Trinidadians. I had my doubts. And then I was like, let me test this out because this sounds too good to be true. And then it literally created an online account. I was like, I have another account. I don't need this. So I had to close it. But yes, it is real, guys. What she's saying is true. You can do it online. And as an existing customer, and if you're a parent and you wanna, add a child to your account, I mean, do better because growing up as a kid, just wanted to spend my money as soon as I got it in my hand. Versus if I had the education, maybe it would have taken a little shorter time because I made some mistakes. I made some mistakes.
Pauline, also, I just wanted to add to that in terms of the capabilities that we have. We also have the capability where we have a tool on our online mobile banking and our online banking where you can chat directly with an advisor. And these advisors is financial advisors, and you are assigned to an officer and you can chat on our app directly with one of them. There are specific hours that you can chat with them, but it gives you the ability to have video chat. You could have like a non-video chat. You can message. It really gives you the ability to do that. And just to add for the children's account, when you open the account online and you upload online for existing customers, it's only sold account, right? So individual account. But for the kids in particular, you could actually, when the process that I initially outlined, where you upload the documents and then you go to the branch, is the process more used for opening accounts with kids.
Okay, that sounds great. So we're gonna go on a break, but before we do that, I'm just gonna give you a heads up, Ria, because I'm currently in Miami on my Aero Miles credit card. Amazing. I am I I am your influence at this point. So there are special rewards and incentives when it comes to utilizing, the digital space as well as understanding what is available to you. So yeah, you're gonna think about that, but we're gonna come back right after this. Good morning and welcome back to the live series Shades of the Bat. Join us on Thursdays as we speak to individuals across multiple industries who will help you understand financial literacy and education. If you join us from LinkedIn, thank you so much. Don't forget to like and follow our page to continue seeing content that will help you manage your money. I'm your host, Pauline Joseph, and today we're discussing banking safely with digital payments at Scotiabank with Ria Chadband. So we're going to bring her in. She's the Assistant Manager, Digital Support Unit with Scotiabank Trinidad and Tobago. And we're going to try and squeeze out as much information as possible because she has a 15-year span in this banking industry and she knows, guys. She knows things. So let's talk about incentives. We wanna, as humans, no matter who we are, where we are, we love incentives and we want rewards. So let's talk about benefits for customers who actively utilize digital banking platforms for Scotiabank.
Okay, so the first benefit and the first incentive is time and money, right? I said it before, I'm going to say it again. Time and money is the biggest benefit and incentive for a customer to want to use our digital banking platform. But notwithstanding that, the main benefit of using online and mobile banking, we also have offerings and we have promos from time to time that is tied to our credit cards. Our new and we also have and with our credit cards as you would have indicated, Pauline, that you have a credit card, a Visa Aero credit card, and you are in Miami on your miles, right? So each credit card have a benefit of their own, which I wouldn't want to get into too details, but every credit card has a benefit of their own. Own and advisor might be the best person to give you all the benefits and all the things that are associated with our different credit cards. Some have cashback, some have miles, and that's the things that we offer that is tied directly to using our credit cards. But when we talk about digital banking and the credit cards, we have our Select Pay initiative, and this is on our online banking and mobile banking only, right? And what Select Pay really and truly is, it allows our customers to be able to take bigger payments and break them down into bite-sized payments, similar to a loan installment where you pay off the amount that you would have taken in a 3 month, 6 months, or 9 months plan, making it easier for the customer to be able to pay off this larger balance on their credit card and doing it digitally without having to go to the branch or talk to our officer in order to be able to do it. They could go online, log into our online or mobile banking, and be able to accept the select pay and break it based on the installment. They will be able to break it up in whatever parts they would like. Right? So that is one of the major benefits of having online banking.
Yes, and it also it's been a new journey for me because as I said earlier, I made some mistakes, had some debt, but now I'm being able, as after learning a lot, especially from this show, what not to do. So when it comes to, I know it's not necessarily in your space, but you're also a consumer. Any advice in that digital convenience and managing your credit cards? Do you have any advice out there that someone's like watching this and they're not sure?
Right. So in terms of managing your credit card, right, Pauline, so it allows you to be able to pay your credit card immediately. So you can go on your online banking, sign in, and you are able to transfer money from your account to your credit card immediately. You can also say, for instance, I am banking with Scotia and you have a credit card, Pauline, but you don't have an account for some reason, you didn't open an account, right? I can actually transfer from my online banking to your credit card and assist you. So when you go on our online banking platform, you are able to see what is your current balance, what is your minimum payment, what if you want to pay another amount. Customers could also set alerts in their credit card, as I talked about alerts before, where you will get a reminder on when your credit card is due. So you could get it via email, so they send you a reminder that your credit card is due on this date. Also, we want customers to be able to, they can view their statements on online banking for their credit cards up to 6 months. You can find your bank statement there, your credit card statement there on your online banking. And you could really go in and view and detail your transactions on your online, for your credit card and be able to see when is the due date. You could be able to see your points, whatever points you would have accumulated for the period. So it's really online banking and mobile banking. Our platforms really give you the option to be able to pay and alert you. They give you that alert so that way you can manage, okay, I need to make this payment by this date, and then you're able to be able to go into your online banking, make that payment. Is it a minimum payment you want to pay? You could just pay a minimum payment if you want to pay all the full balance. Or say it's neither your minimum or your full balance, you want to pay some other amount, it allows you to also do that.
Yes, and you had mentioned before making payments to other banks, but being able to, for me, immediately pay off my credit card on my phone at 9 o'clock in the night in my bed is like that's the epitome to me of the 21st century. Because that doing that as opposed to stand up in a line for however long, it's one or the other. If I have a choice, I'm happy that I have that choice.
Yeah. And also, I mentioned earlier about our smart machines, right? So, our smart machines also allow our customers to make credit card payments directly to their credit card or using their debit card. So, customers also have, and it hits just like how the money hits the account immediately. It counts and it hits the credit card balance immediately, just like you would have done over the counter. So, that's one of the transactions that really and truly you can do from the comfort of your home, as you said, Pauline, 9 o'clock in the night, 12 o'clock in the night, 3 o'clock in the morning, you could do that payment anytime. You could do it while having some coffee.
Which I mean, muy importante. So important. So we spoke earlier because we would have had people join us late into the discussion, so we may have to, reflect on some of these things we discussed. But we talked about having the security element, because we want to have the safety of our phones. Some of us for WhatsApp purposes, others for other things. But when it comes to practical advice in terms of safety online banking, we spoke about using our facial recognition, using the fingerprint, but for those who may not have that, can you give some advice? Because I'm going to be honest, I have met people with passwords that say 1, 2, 3, 4. So give us some give us some insight as to how we can better ourselves in this digital age.
Okay, so you started with passwords, right? So I'm gonna just continue on your trend there, Pauline. So basically, I want to advise our customers, please use passwords that are harder for other people to figure out. Use capital, use commas, use numbers. Um, you don't use your date of birth. Don't use things like your husband name, your wife name, your children name, your children date of birth. Those are easier things for people to figure out. So make sure when you put in a password, make sure it's something unique. Don't put it something that everybody or anybody could easily figure out, right? Be aware of what you are doing in terms of the devices you're using. Don't use public devices or public internet spaces. Try to use only your personal devices. And if you have to use public devices, please do not save your passwords or your usernames on these devices, right? Do not ever share your passwords or your pins with anyone. It could be a daughter, it could be a husband, it could be a cousin, it could be a nephew. Do not ever share your password because when you share your password, you put yourself at risk as a customer. And in those cases, the bank is unable to assist when you share your password if ever anything is to happen. We also want to let our customers know that we will never call you or send you an email or text message and present you with an unexpected web page that asks you to validate information such as your password, PIN, access code, credit card numbers, account numbers, and account access. We will never send it to you. So if you see something like that, it's definitely fraud, and there's so much phishing and those type of things that happen. So please do not use click on links. We would not do that to allow our customers to validate their information. Learn how to recognize a scam, reject them, and report them. You want to ensure that you report whatever you need to report and do not fall into the scam of people. So there's so much scam happening, right? Ensure you're using our accurate website. Make sure that the website you're using is a HTTPS. The S signifies that it's a secure website. So make sure you use those websites with the S to ensure that you are able to use secure websites when you're using our platform, right? Look at emails. You might get a message that looks so official. It looks just like Scotia would have sent it. Be slow to act. Take your time. Read carefully, really, and truly read what you're seeing before you decide to click on a link or you decide to add anything of that. You decide to click on the link or add what they tell you to add on the email, right? If you have a suspicious of any email you receive, never respond to it. Don't respond. It's better if you call the institution or our bank to ensure that we sent you that email rather than you click on that email and something that negative happens.
Thank you so much for that, Ria. And there's something you said just now that I think, even as someone who spends, so much time online for work, I've been in a digital marketing role for 13 years. I tend to be quick to respond, and you just click on things because you mindlessly or want to open an email, and you're like, oh wait, this looks familiar. And I think that advice of being slow to respond is so important because we tend to want everything now and think that our response have to match that. So it's such great advice. So when it comes to this conversation around passwords, you have any advice in terms of maybe sort of like a theme suggestion, because you said what not to do. So usually you said people's significant other, birthdays. sometimes even addresses people use as their password. Do you have a suggestion for passwords?
So, what we like to tell our customers, one, make it unique to you. Make sure it's something that you will remember easily, but you don't want anybody else to remember easily, right? Or they may not think that is a password. Make it very unique, and it could be the simplest of things that you could use that makes it so unique, right? Um, you want to use capitals. You don't always want to start with a capital, but put a capital somewhere randomly in between, which would make your password more a little different from another person's password. Put the number in between. So you have the ability to put capital, commas, and numbers. Mix it up. Don't let it be a plain, ordinary um, password. Make sure that you put your unique spin on each password that you use.
Thank you so much for that. Especially in the digital world, when folks use technology, they basically skim a lot of things, and when you add sort of the at sign as a, you change that out, it's a little harder. So definitely great advice when it comes to creating a password. So we're gonna go on a quick break, but I just want to heads up, give Ria what the next conversation we spoke about it earlier, which is you know having access to your sort of seeing what your savings and check-ins like is one thing, but being able to look at investments and having that statement, it's a good option to have digitally. So we're going to talk about that when we come back. And welcome back to Straight Off the Bat, a show that helps you understand financial literacy and education. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you're doing so from YouTube, thanks a lot. Don't forget to subscribe to our page to continue seeing content that will help you manage your money. Today, we're discussing banking safely with digital payments at ScotiaBank, and we're going to bring Ria back in. We have such a wealth of discussion that's happening. Ria is the Assistant Manager Digital Support with ScotiaBank Trinidad and Tobago Limited. Before the break, we wanted to sort of give you a heads up on the next topic, and we're going to talk about accessing your statements. Now, personally, for me, being able to access my statement online is life changing. I love an Excel spreadsheet. It's part of my identity. So being able to see what, I've spent and being able to compare, I love to see when I make a little savings. So in terms of the conversation around, let's first of all talk about statements. Having that access to digital statements, how important is that as a consumer?
So, Pauline, it's very important as a consumer for us to be able to have it
So Ria,
readily
sorry,
available.
um, you're stuck. You're actually, is it possible you may have to refresh and come back because I can hear you, but I can't see you. So, if you could just give us a quick break, we will be right back. Ria, if you could just refresh your browser, yeah. Okay, welcome back to Straight Off the Bat. Let's bring Ria back in. Just before we had a little bit of technical difficulties, we're discussing the benefits of having your online statements. So, Ria, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Are you hearing me?
Okay, great. Yes, you're loud and clear. We could see you. So, do you remember the question?
Hello?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, Pauline. So the question was how is it for statements? How we have the availability of our statements and the benefits of having it, right? That was the question. Let me just make sure I have it clear.
Yep. All good and ready to go.
All right. So basically, having your statements, customers want to be able to see what is happening immediately when it happens. So we don't only offer the ability to have these statements, but also we offer the ability as soon as the transaction happens, it comes up on your payment history or your transaction history via the app or online banking. So a customer, as soon as they make a payment with their debit card or their credit card, they can go and see what the payment is and how much was deducted. Right? With our statements, with these statements, you really have the ability to download, as I said, you have the ability to go through your statements to see what is happening with your accounts, to see your balance in your accounts, to see what transaction would have um, been completed for the month, what you would have done in a month, what money would have come in, you would be able to also kind of have a plan or a budget. Basically you're able to budget and see exactly where you and what you purchase. Also, we give our customers alerts where they are able to know when these statements are available online, and with these statements it makes it so much easier for customers to be able to get these statements to different people that they might want to share the statements with our app. We are able to download these statements and then be able to forward it to different persons. You can email it, you could WhatsApp it, you could take a print screen if you'd like. If you don't want to send the whole thing and you just want to send part, you can take a print screen of your statement and be able to give it to customer. And as the world changes and we move away from so much paper into a more digital world, having our statements digitally gives customers the ability to be able to save trees, and it gives the bank the ability to save the trees, right? We're really doing our part with ensuring that our trees and we get more oxygen.
Which is so important, climate change, guys. For me as well, I was so accustomed to having those physical statements, and I have them in a folder, and I have them based on the dates, and it's like being able to now have those digitally stored on the cloud is so much easier because I can access it wherever. So
Yeah.
in the vein of the, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so also just to advise customers, they can also always save them on their desktops and PDF them and that kind of thing. So just like how you have them in a drawer or saving them elsewhere, you could also save them that way as well.
You're absolutely right. Now they're on the cloud.
Yeah.
Uh, so when it comes to, because I checked on the Instagram and I saw the conversation around something coming soon, and we're looking at the conversation on statements. What is this feature you were telling me earlier when it comes to being able to have your investment statement?
Okay, so basically what it is, so it's something new to our online banking, and this is coming out soon to our customers where they are able to now. So our present system is you have to go into a branch or email your officer, your advisor, in order to be able to get your statement, your mutual fund statement, or your investment statements in particular, right? Now we will be giving customers the ability to be able to get these statements on their online and mobile banking, which will make it so much easier for people to be able to, see what is happening with their funds, be able to kind of monitor month over month what is happening. And as anyone, as a human or as a banker, as a customer, you want to know what is happening with your investments. You want to know just as much as you want to know what is happening to your account on a day-to-day basis, a month-to-month basis. So this new feature will really, really bring a lot of value to our customers, especially the ones that invest.
Yeah, and I feel like it's so much better than heading back to a social media account and scrolling through a news feed. I prefer to refresh my statement. to be like, oh wait, how much money did I make? I don't know. Transferring one behavior to next. I know it's not healthy. Um, so we have a few minutes left, and I want to really close off the discussion around safety because I think that's a very important conversation, especially in digital age. Even before digital, cash in general, we want to feel secure, right? So,
Yeah.
how can customers trust that their sensitive financial information will remain protected and secure when they choose to conduct digital transactions through the Scotiabank digital platform?
So, as I would have indicated, your data is protected from the minute that you sign into our website to the minute that you sign out, right? And I spoke about the biometrics with your face and your fingerprint and those things that enable us to secure your information as a customer. We have multi layers authentication in order to verify that this is the customer and it is the legitimate customer that is doing the transaction. It is not someone trying to hack this customer's account, right? So we have a lot of multi-factor authentication, and the customer is able to verify via email that this is the customer who's actually doing the transactions. And you also have the ability to be able to, your data is encrypted from end to end. We encrypt your data in order to be able to keep it safe. And again, I will go back to our Scotia alerts. Our Scotia alerts is really, really and truly one of our most amazing features in ensuring that our customers are safe and they are fully aware of what is happening and when it is happening with their account.
That's so great for us to learn about this, and being able to do this show has been a privilege to share this information. So I want to close up with one more thing because I feel like you're in a unique position where being in the banking industry for 15 plus years and then also being a mom, what kind of advice do you have for folks who may feel very apprehensive about this digital space and this change that's happening?
Pauline, I really want to tell our customers or anyone who are having difficulty. It takes time. It's not something that happens overnight. With every change, we learn to review what is happening, understand, make sure we educate ourselves as individuals to understand what is the benefits, understand what is the risk, understand how the benefits may outweigh the risk that may be there. If you don't know, ask. We are always willing as persons to help our customers. We are an email away, a call away. We are always receptive to helping our customers to ensure that they understand how to use our platforms. And as a mother, you or from all mothers or fathers, parents, grandparents who might be there and want to use the different platforms, read about it, go on our online banking and go to our how-to guides, understand the different features, understand how you are able to bank digitally and be safe while ensuring that transactions get done quickly, right? So really and truly my message is educate ourselves. It is digital banking, digital transformation is coming, and we as people will adapt with time. So I know sometimes it may take time, sometimes it will be difficult, but keep at it and we definitely will be able to move with this digital transformation together.
Well, on that note, thank you so much, Ria, for joining us today and sharing insight into banking safely with digital payments Scotiabank. Sign up to be notified about our next live show via the link in the comments. And as always, be sure to like and follow our page on LinkedIn so you don't miss a single live show. Thank you so much again for joining us. See you soon. Bye.
Hi, thank you.